detail, step by step, how solid waste can be managed effectively with the objective of minimizing the damage to the environment and optimizing the resources. When I say resources, includes environmental, human, and financial resources. And then we will be looking at what are the technologies that are available for processing of municipal solid waste. So three common technologies that are widely used across the world will be discussed in this part. So those technologies name are incineration, composting, pyrolysis. Module 5, that is the last module. Again, this module is divided into two sections. One of the section will be covering the concepts related to noise pollution. What is noise pollution? What are the sources? What are its effects? And the last half of this course is on radioactive pollution. Here we will be looking at the sources of radioactive material, classification of radioactive material, their health impacts, and how it can be disposed safely in the environment. Basically, management of radioactive waste. Some of the reading resources that are there. You can note down these books and try to find out. And if you are having any difficulty in getting any of these books, let me know. I'll try to help you out in whatever way I can.
Sir, provide PDF of these books, sir.
I'll try to. If not, I'll see what else can be done. I will be uploading these lecture slides in the file section, and the password to open them will be CE101 EVS. So that is the password to open the lecture slides that I'll be uploading.
Thank you, sir.
Can you please repeat the password?
It's just your
Sir, what was
course
the
code
password?
CE101 EVS, all in lowercase. No gap, no special
CE also
character.
in lowercase.
Yes, everything. CE101 EVS. Okay, I hope it is clear.
Yes.
So where will we find the lecture? Where will
In
we
MS
find it?
Teams, you have this file section. So I'll be creating a folder by name, class materials. So there I will be loading all these lecture slides.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let us continue. So this is the normal exam pattern that we follow. But since we are in this COVID-driven situation, the
Excuse me, sir.
assessment, yes,
Which is the most preferred book among them? Anyone?
actually, you can look at this environmental studies or this SC Santra, environmental science, okay, or even this book. One would be fine, five, but you will not be able to find all the topics. That is why we have a number of books because we're covering different aspects of environment. So one book will not be able to serve all these topics. So what you can do, but mainly you can look at this AKD, SC Santra, or this Gilbert Masters, Introduction to Environmental Engineering and Science. So if someone is planning to buy, I would suggest you discuss among yourself and then go to bookstore or wherever you are able to find these books. You can think and plan accordingly so that someone buys serial number one or few of you can buy serial number two. Exactly. I'm just suggesting for this, and you can also follow this some important books. Of course, there are. You can also access the library. Okay, you can get the online access in time as you go. But if you are planning to buy not only for this course, for other courses also, if you think that some book you need for covering some major points, you can plan accordingly. or else you let the teacher know. We'll try to help you out in whatever way we have the material available.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so we have these five modules. So five module, each module once it is completed, we'll be going for quiz. Quiz is generally for 10 marks. Okay, so 10 into 550, that becomes your internal assessment, and end semester evaluation is 50 marks. So 100 marks. And in these COVID driven semesters, we are following this pattern. So each module, once we are able to complete, we'll be going for quiz. And quiz generally we will not have during the lecture hours because we have to cover these syllabus and these portions by end of March. So we'll plan for these quizzes on Saturdays or on Sundays evenings or whenever time permits your and mine availability. So
So,
quiz,
like other subject, there will be five quizzes.
yes, in all the papers you will have five quizzes. Each module will be followed by a quiz of 10 marks. Now it depends on the teacher. Generally, for this course, we go for either multiple choice question or short answer type. For other courses, we need to check with the teacher. So for this course, we have these two options available, either multiple choice questions or short answer type questions.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so that is the basic introduction that we always do to new students. So if you have any queries based on what we have gone through or something was not clear, please feel free to ask.
Sir, each quizzes will be of 4 marks. 5 quizzes, 20 marks.
No, not 4 marks, 10 marks, 10 into 5. You have 50 marks for internal assessment and 50 marks for end semester. That becomes 100. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Any other question?
No, sir. Continue.
Okay. So this is the module 1 that we are starting. Before we go to the details, it is good for us to understand what is it that we are dealing with. So in this part, we are dealing with ecology and environmental science. So what is ecology? Basically, it is a branch of biology which deals with study of interactions between organism and their environment. Even while you're sitting in your room or in your home or wherever you are interacting with the environment. You are inhaling oxygen, you are exhaling CO2. That's the interaction which goes on. That's the most simple example that I can give you. But there are many other interactions that we do. So what is this allows us to do? It allows us to deal with numerous and various components that are there in the nature, which can be categorized as climate, soil, uh, leaf litter lying over soil, plants, animal, okay, respiration, photosynthesis, decomposition, biodiversity, dominance of a particular species, etc., and the relationship or the linkages that exist between them. For example, how diversity is related to production. Say you have two areas. One is dry and barren land, and one is garden soil. Now, if you compare the biodiversity, obviously garden soil will be able to display higher biodiversity. So you might be confusing this term ecology and environmental science. Basically, both are different. Environmental science is applied science where the emphasis is on the analysis of human impacts on the physical, chemical, and biological environment of Earth. Whereas this environmental science that is multidisciplinary, okay, ecology is part of environmental science. So environmental science is very multidisciplinary. This may be able to help to understand. You can also think of an environmental problem even after completing your BTech or MTech or MS, whatever you wish to do. Now, if you take up one particular environmental challenge and if you are able to come up with an innovative idea, now that can be a startup. That can be a solution to a problem. There are many such examples I can go on giving. You can also try to find out. What are the environmental challenges and what are the solutions that are desired? That means there is scope for all these professionals who are experts in ecology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, geology, climatology, environmental economics, and political science. That means whenever you try to address an environmental problem, you need to have at least these many in your team. That means everybody has something to contribute in understanding and solving the environmental crisis. Okay. So next concept that we have is on ecosystem. Now, ecosystem is within ecology. Now, ecology can be approached from the viewpoints of environment and the demand it places on the organism in it. Now we have these organisms and how they adapt to their environmental conditions. Okay. Organism and how they adapt. Now we all know that there is climate change, and climate change also is demanding basically on species to adapt. Now those species which are not able to adapt, we know that they get extinct because they get threatened and then they get extinct. Now, what is ecosystem? It is any unit which includes all the organism in a given area, which is interacting with the physical environment, so that there is flow of energy and flow of material, which leads to clearly defined trophic structure, biotic diversity, and material cycles within the system. Now, basically, an ecosystem consists of assembly of mutually interacting organisms and their environment, where there is exchange of material in a largely cyclic manner. We'll understand these concepts as we go, but for now, you understand that there is constant exchange of energy and material in a
There are a lot
cyclic
of
manner.
background noise is coming, sir.
Yes, I know. Uh, just let us
Yes, sir.
continue.
Your voice is not clear, sir.
Hmm.
Not really.
You should try to focus, okay? Because I'm in office, so it can get a bit noisy at times. If you're able to focus, you'll be able to understand or try to increase the volume at your end.
Okay.
Uh, Ecosystem. Basically, an ecosystem has physical, chemical, and biological components. है ना? So we have physical, for example, sunlight, wind, water. These are physical components. Carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, any other element that are able to think, they form the chemical component. And then there are organisms which are living using these physical and chemical components. So, an ecosystem is physical, chemical, and biological components along with energy sources and pathways of energy and materials interchange. The environment in which so we have this ecosystem and then the environment. So when we say habitat, we all understand what is a habitat. The environment in which a particular organism lives is known as habitat, and the role of an organism in a habitat is called its niche. Please understand this. Don't get confused between niche and habitat. Habitat is the place where a particular organism lives, and the role of organism in a habitat is called its niche, Niche. Now, what will happen if habitats are destroyed? For example, you may have heard about this great ocean reefs that are getting destroyed, in Australia, for example, due to various types of pollution. Now, that's once the habitat is destroyed, now obviously those coral reefs will be lost. Those who are interested, you can note down this and try to read what is the status of those coral reefs in Australian Ocean. Okay. Now, for convenience, we always divide subjects into different categories. Now, we want to understand ecology. That is the objective. Now, what way we can address this concept of ecology? We will be able to understand ecology from terrestrial point of view, freshwater, oceanic, marine and oceanic region. So terrestrial environment is based on land and it consists of biomes such as grassland, which is one of several kind of forest savanna. So basically land-based system. Then we have freshwater-based system. Now freshwater can be further divided into those waters which flow and those water which are standing. Lakes and reservoirs, for example, streams and rivers. Then we have this oceanic marine environment, which is characterized by salt water, and this can be divided broadly into shallow waters. So those waters which are shallow in ocean, they are considered as oceanic marine environment, and those which are deeper, they are considered as oceanic region. So if we understand this, for example, what are the organisms, what are the plants or types of grass that is growing on terrestrial environment, that will help us to understand the biomes. And then we can understand the freshwater system and then ocean. So if we address these different types of ecosystem, we'll be able to understand. So in ecology also, we have two types of subdivisions. You know that, for example, biology, you may have understand botany and zoology. That's subdivision. Within ecology, we have ecosystem ecology and population ecology. Now, ecosystem ecology, it views ecosystem as large units, and population ecology, it tries to explain ecosystem behavior from the properties of individual units. Then we have this descriptive ecology and functional ecology. So descriptive ecology describes the types and nature of organisms and their environment, which emphasizes the structures of ecosystem and communities and dispersion and structure of population. Now, descriptive ecology, as the name is suggesting, will be talking in terms of what are the types and nature of organisms. And then we have this functional ecology that basically helps us to know how things work in an ecosystem. For example, how population respond to environmental alteration. So for example, we have a lake. Now, if there is some thermal pollution means when we discharge wastewaters which are sort of with elevated temperature. Now, what that will do, that is going to increase the temperature of the whole water body. Now, suppose there are fishes which are adapted to living in cold waters. Now, because of this increased temperature, there would be some alteration to the environment. Now, because of this alteration, there might be some species of fishes which we may not be able to find due to the increased temperature that is happening because of disposal of warm effluents. Effluents means the wastewater that is coming from the industries. Now, this way we are able to understand. So, for example, we have ecosystem ecology, population ecology, descriptive ecology, and then functional ecology. Any question before we move to the next concept?
No, sir.
Okay, so we have another interesting concept. As science and technology is advancing, we have this important concept of ecosystem. We have two types of ecosystem. Now, this is again another division within ecosystem, within ecology. One we can call natural ecosystem. The other one is artificial. So what is natural ecosystem? These are those which are existing in nature. Okay, these are existing in nature. Whereas if we look at artificial ecosystem, these are man-made. So natural ecosystems, they exist in nature. They are classified either into terrestrial and aquatic. Within aquatic, we have freshwater and oceanic. Now, terrestrial system include desert, grassland, tropical, and temperate rainforest, etc. Aquatic system, pond, river, stream, lake, estuary, swamps, etc. Now, these two ecosystems, they are known as self-regulating. Self-regulating means they are able to proceed in a sustainable way. They are open system with free exchange of input and output. Whereas when you compare artificial ecosystem with natural ecosystem, these artificial ecosystems are unstable and subjected to severe changes due to human intervention and manipulation. And usually these systems are formed by disturbing the environment. For example, crop field. Now, how do we set a crop field? Obviously, everything was forest earlier. We cleared the bushes, we cleared the forest, and then we started practicing agriculture. Or, for example, mining, or for example, setting up residential complexes, setting up industrial units. All happens through disturbing these natural ecosystems. Isn't it? If I stop here for this lecture, we'll continue further in tomorrow's lecture. So, two things I would want to mention. One is just try to be on time. Don't try to log in very late and in a very casual manner. Okay, it is always best that you join us well in time so that there is no disturbance at a later time. So tomorrow we have a lecture, so I would expect all of you will be there on time. I hope it is clear, because that's what will help me to see how eager you are. Okay, any teacher would be happy to see students coming on time in class.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you show the second last slide?
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
You will upload this slide in
Yes,
Teams,
yes,
right?
these slides will be uploaded. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
We'll try to help you in every possible manner. In return, what we're expecting, you do go through these content, come up with any question or anything which is not clear, and be responsive in the lectures. That's what is being demanded of you.
This has been the best lecture yet.
Okay, so that's what is expected of you. That you come, improve, go with a better knowledge, and have a very good job, have a good career. That's what is expected of you. Nothing more. Okay. So all the best for your semester and coming
Sir?
classes. Yes, tell me.
Sir, you asked us to view the different level of knowledge. Could you please again repeat the word you asked us?
Bloom's taxonomy. I'll type that in the chat box. You can.
So it is like a pyramid.
Yeah. You can go through it. And if anybody has got any question, okay, we can check that tomorrow. Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, so it's a very interesting aspect. You can go through it and try to find out what way universities across the globe are approaching the way teaching learning is happening. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.